welcome along to Inside Line Racing. This is ILR5 on the PS4 side, and we are at round number 3 today here at the Shanghai International Circuit for the Chinese Grand Prix, first held in 2004, just like Bahrain in fact, and the circuit holds the record for the highest number of overtakes during the Grand Prix, and that was in 2016, and it was the scenes of F1's 1000th race this year, which was pretty spectacular to be honest. So before we get to the action, here is a track map of this beautiful Shanghai circuit. 16 corners around this 5.4 kilometre circuit, and this track layout has been altered in the 15 years since it was built. 2 DRS zones, with one being at the start finish straight and one being in turns 13 and 14. Now, are you guys ready to start with quali? Now, I would go through the standings, but I forgot to screenshot before I started my race earlier on, so I didn't have time. So we are just going to kick off with the race. So the race is going to be interesting. I've been given a weather report from the drivers. Well, as you can see, it is bone dry in qualifying, so that's not a change much. But it's going to be a dry to wet race. So it's going to start off dry, and then towards the end, they'll need to either pit for inters or for wets. Probably most likely inters. So it'll be dry to wet. So we haven't seen much wet races in ILR5 recently. So it's gonna be chaos, to be honest, for people to decide what setup they're gonna use. Most people, they want to go for the dry setup, but we'll have to wait and see. But we don't know when the rain is coming. We know the rain is coming towards the end, but knowing my luck, it will come pretty much one lap before the end, and there's no point pitting for wet tyres. So there we go. Anyway, I'm currently riding on board with Colo Man, who I believe is a reserve, I think. Filling in for some other people, and I think Jack Hawkeye is on a lap as well. Now, it's only 2 DRS zones, but I think they'll be given the true indication of when they will decide to pit once they see the DRS disable sign, or they could pit before to get a bit of a gamble. We'll have to wait and see. So we got Onyx in the chat. Nice to see you, Onyx. And don't forget, if you want to get involved, I will read your comments as much as I can. So here we go. Kylo just goes through the DRS zone. He is on 4th DRS mode at the moment. He's going to get a bit of a tow from Collins, because I believe on a lap as well, which is going to help him. So usual strategy is using mediums to hards. So, but considering it's going to be a wet towards the end, we could see a change in that. We could see a few more people on the softs. But Kylo Man comes across the line at 1:33.3 on the set of the hard tyres. So he's the first person to set a banker lap. And NWBB is going through set 2. I'm just trying to see who was third on a lap then. I think Jack Hawkeye was definitely third on a lap than anyone else. Yes, he is. He's also got Dan right in front of him as well. Now, so far this season, like with the start of last season, we've had 2 different winners in ILR5, which is pretty good. As Jack Hawkeye, I think his lap time got him... Oh, nope, he's run out of ERS. He's completely run out of ERS, and he could potentially run out of fuel as well if he's not careful. As S-Boy goes across the line on the hard tyres, and what lap time is he going to set? It's going to be a 1:34.4, which puts him in 6th. So, quite a spread of times at the moment, but a majority of people are on the hards, with only one person on the mediums, and that is Quintin in the Renault. So let me just see that. I need to double check. Quintin, there he is. So he's the only guy who is on the mediums at the moment. So will this play dividends? Will this be a bit of a gamble strategy? But to be honest, I don't know. It's up to pretty much anyone. So Quintin comes across the final corner, and no, he is going to set a few more laps. Yeah, I thought so. I have a feeling about that. And quite a few people on the soft. We've got Ron Line has set his fastest lap on the soft tyres with a 1:32.7. I think the fastest lap time I've seen on the softs is a 1:30, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we may see faster lap times. I think 1:30 is definitely where I've seen the fastest lap time around China so far. Out of all the tiers, to be honest. Ooh, that's tasty. I just found out Lenny's commentating ILR4. That is decent, man. Well, that's no excuse. You need to still tune in to me, but you can have both streams on at the same time. I'll definitely be watching ILR4 back after this. But yeah, Lenny is commentating ILR4. Exciting times, fun times. Anyway, enough about that. Now, I do like to point out there's a few overtaking opportunities, but during the long corners, the front left tyre does tend to lock up quite a bit, and you can lose a bit of the back end, so it's important that you get it right. And the tricky corner in turns 1 and 2, they need to get right as well. Now, Casper won in round 1, but he didn't have a very good result. He DNF'd in Bahrain, so hopefully he'll do better. So we've got lovely Scuba in the chat. Nice to see you, Scuba. As I do believe Casper, nope, he's on his fly at the moment. Let's follow Casper on the lap, so I do believe he's going on one. He's got enough ERS to play with, so I'll follow him anyway. So, here we go. So Casper is going to go past the really long and tricky turn 1, and you've got to find the left corner, but in particular once you get to it, and then approaching turn 2. There's no one-size-fits-all approach in these first 2 corners, and it depends on your driving style here as you go through turn 3, and then going through this long straight of turn 6 as well. It is just really tight just to get right. You can see the tyres almost starting to lock up as well, so going through turn 8 and then approaching turn 9 and then approaching turn 10 and 11. Now, braking just for the 100 metre board here. If you brake a little bit later, it can definitely cost you some time as he goes through the long DRS straight now, coming into turn 14 and 15 coming up now. So go as best overtaking opportunity. You will be going at 210 miles an hour at maximum, depending on it, as Casper is going on 207 miles per hour. Make sure you cut the red and white curbing just a little bit, but not that much. And then you can go as fast to the right as possible to get your best possible lap in. What is Casper going to do? It looks pretty good for a banker. It is pole. It is pole at the moment with a 1:32.7, but we have seen Casper do better on this track, so we'll have to wait and see. So, time so far. Let me just look at time so far. So, gap between 1st and 11th is about a second. Actually, 1st and 12th, actually. It's Villa's in P12, or Vil. Or Pinsky, as most people like to call him anyway. As quite a lot of people are going to the pits. The guys who are on the hard tyres will be wanting to get a few more laps in first, like Jay Carty is, for example, in the Sauber. Now, whilst this qualifying is going on, I am actually going to get the standings up. It's not going to be on stream, but I am going to get it up just so you are aware of what's gone on for the opening 2 rounds. Will we get a 3rd different pole sitter? That would be insane, to be honest. And will we get all 20 cars finish a race? That would be amazing. We were almost close in that in ILR8, even with rain, but someone retired, which was gutting. Thankfully, that wasn't me, but I was so close to retiring that race. I was so close to giving up. But I was just like, I've got to keep going. I've got to, you know. So anyway, I'll get the standings up for you as I'm just seeing. I think other people could be on a lap. Coleman is on a lap, I followed him earlier. Jack Hawkeye, he's going past sector 1. Oh, hopefully Quintin moved out of the way. I think Quintin did move out of the way, so thank goodness for that, because otherwise I would have definitely compromised a little bit on his lap, but that is very important around this track. It is very hard to move out of the way of this track if you don't get it right. So going on to that left apex, then Jack does that really nicely. So I've got the standings up, so I'm going to read to you. Yep, I've got the right one. So Cowboy won last week, and due to the fact that he got 3rd place in Australia, he leads the championship at the moment with 40 points. Next, actually, let me get the drivers' table, not the results. There we go. Sorted. Okay, then we have Roberto Mancini, who's been consistent with 28 points. And we have Casper on 25 points. Obviously, he retired last week, but he did get the win, so you're still in 3rd. Dan's in 4th in the championship. Then it's Milos, and it's Jack Hawkeye, that you're, or Hawkeye, depending on what you like to call him, in 6th. Quinton in 7th. Swimmy in 8th. Aero Specialist 9th. And Pete, also known as Nineton, rounds up your top 10. Then we've got One Line in 11th. Jay Carty 12th on 4. Cam K on 3. And then everyone else, NWBB, IXE Fun, Collins, Pinsky, Ben Gallagher, and S-Boy yet to score. And Khalifa hasn't turned up yet. He's going to turn up in Spain, I believe. Doesn't have any points either, but I know you will get some points down the line. And Bassie's back. He's reserve again. But this time he's in a Ferrari. It's going to be really tough because, well, I think one he was in a Renault, one he was in a McLaren, now he's in a Ferrari. So it's going to be very confusing at times. But looks like he's managing his Ferrari very well indeed. Now, I hardly see anyone on the softs at the moment. I think everyone wants to go on the mediums at the moment to set their best lap times. But they may want to go as long on the hards as possible. Maybe hards will be the best tyre, to be honest, with the dry to wet conditions, because you could try and stretch your hards for quite a long time and then wait until the inters come. That's what I would do if I was in that situation. I would go on the hard, see how long or I can go onto the softs, then go onto the hards, and then, as Bassi has binned the wall. He's lost his front wing, I think. I would either do hards and then pin on the inters, or I would either do softs, then hards, and then pin on inters. It does depend, really, on what these drivers do depend. So, and as Khalifa says hello, as I said his name. Love you, really. And I'm meeting some of these guys in actually about 3 weeks' time. So I think one of them's Pete and one of them's Khalifa. So looking forward to that. Because we all used to be in ILR5 together. So it should be fun. But anyway, I'm just seeing. It's quite quiet at the moment. Quinty goes into the pits. Seeing who else could be on their outlet. I don't think Bassie's going through due to that little spin that he's had. But Collins found some more time as well. I think he's found 4 attempts in that lap. So as he gets a toe from a Bassi going through to the right-hand curb, he only went to the right-hand curb a little bit too late there, but that's probably going to help him as he goes across the line now. Not a particularly fast lap time on the softs, but it's a 1:34.4. So that puts him in 17th place. But again, there are banker laps. And I think a majority of guys want to try and see if they can set their best lap times on the mediums, because otherwise they're going to have a tough time. But you never know. Softs could be the way to go. As we got a yellow flag in sector 3. It's probably not going to tell me. There's yellow flags going everywhere, but I don't know where they are at the moment. I can't really tell, to be honest. But and for the very first time, for the very first time in the world, podium interviews will be back. Hey! I figured it out in ILR3 on Sunday, so they will be coming back. So if any of these guys wish to reach the top 3, they will get a chance to be interviewed by me. Obviously, it's not compulsory if they don't want to, or they don't have a mic, or if they're too shy, they don't have to. But I'm offering it to all the drivers who finish in the top 3. And we're seeing quite, I think Sample has got his way up into P2 in the McLaren, so he's not done too bad either. So again, I jinxed it. I absolutely jinxed it. Typical Jess. But anyway, if you don't know, reserves do not score points for the Drivers' Championship, but I do believe they score points for the Constructors. So I think when the people are reserved, their main focus is to help the team, really, which is what they want to do. So as Casper's in 4th at the moment. I'm just seeing if anyone's going to improve. Sample doesn't improve. He's about 2 seconds off. Swemmy improves up to 4th. He was 4 attempts quicker that lap. And Roberto Mancini on pole on a set of mediums. Yeah, it's a set of mediums. That's pretty decent. So the top 4 are all mediums at the moment. They've set their best lap time. Casper's on the softs Wolf set his best lap time on the softs anyway, but he's hoping to get his best lap times on the mediums. One line set his best lap time on the softs, and I think he wants to commit to the soft tyres. It'll be interesting to see how Ron does. It's not our online, and I got mimic from that from a GTA chat. And as Colo Man has retired, not quite sure what happened there. He might have had a little spin there, but it's Ron line, not our online. So, and I haven't said it wrong at all stream yet, which I'm very happy. So, I might just call him Ron from now on, just to not confuse. Quite a lot of people have retired, actually. 2, I think 3. But if they stay where they are, they're still going to have a decent grid position anyway. The Sample's retired as well. And I think Aero Specialist hasn't gone out as well either. So anyway, hopefully we'll get a few indications from the drivers on when roughly we're going to expect the rain. Apparently it's going to be not that long after the race starts, actually. Even though it said it was towards the end, according to some people's Jeffs. But I might be wrong, or the Jeffs might be wrong, as Swimmy has just retired from the session. Again. Cam K's in 7th at the moment. He had to move out. I think he was on his gone out of the pits. He's retired as well. As we have got 10 seconds remaining, and the chicken flag is about to fall in to make sure they get their laps in for the end of the qualifying session. And Umberto can't improve. He stays P1 for now. NWBB, he's running out of fuel. I'm just going to see who else can improve. Our online's just gone past sector 2. Let's wait and see. Quintin. Where's Quintin at the moment? Quintin's in 9th. He's coming across the line now. Let's see what he could do in the Renault. Can he improve on his hard time? Stays 9th. Dan's in sector 3. He's slowing down a little bit, I think, or he's trying to get the right-hand side line. I don't know. Quite a lot of people are on laps as Pete is going towards final corner as well. He is looking for an improvement, and hopefully the wets is going to help him. We'll have to wait and see in the number 22 car. Let's see. Can he get a top 10 position? He gets second. He gets second place, which is not bad for Pete. Let's go on board with Ron. Ron's on pole. 1:30.18 on a set of the soft side. So he'll be starting on the softs. Softs don't tend to last long around here. I haven't experimented really how long the softs go on for, but they don't tend to last very long anyway. As JKT, nope, he's slowing down. Milos, he's slowing down too. Anyone else on the quickie? No, so it's Ron that is on pole, and quite a lot of people in the chat are fans of Ron, so they're going to be really happy about that, actually. I know a few people that will be relieved as well. Onyx, especially. He's like, Ronnie! Love it, Onyx. I absolutely love it. So, yeah. And as Milos, I think, is going to be the last person to cross the line, I believe, as he dives into the pits at the moment. But our online did very well to get it on pole. So, Ron line, not our online. I said it wrong! I said it wrong! Oh, my God. Oh, they're never going to live it down. It's Ron line, not our online. Oh, God. I was almost so close. I was so close. But anyway, as who are we waiting for? I think I'm waiting for Milos to get into the pits, I think. And then that's it. Unless we're waiting for a few more people to get into the pits. I don't know. Or it might be just the lobby taking its time to load. So, get your predictions in for qualifying then. Who do you think is going, for the race even, who do you think is going to win the race? We'll just have to wait and see, and I will need to retweet the tweet in a minute, but I'll do that right now, actually. There we go. So, Ron Line takes pole by 0.2 of a second from the Welshman, Roberto. Pete in P3. Colo Man in P4. or Colo, or how we say it. Callboy 5th, NWBB 6th, Sam in 7th, Abassi 8th, S-Boy 9th, Swemmy 10th, Casper 11th, Cam 12th, Quinton 13th, Villa Pinsky 14th, Jay Carty 15th, Dan 16th, Milos 17th, Jack 18th, Collins 19th, and Aero Specialist did not set a lap time. Right then, who is up for this race? Who is up for a very intense session? So it looks really dry for now. And if I didn't get a weather report from the drivers, I would think it was a dry race fully. But due to the fact that it's that sunny earlier on, I think it's going to take a while for the rain to come. So watch out for the radar, people, and get your predictions as to when the rain will come. I would say I think around about lap 22. That's going to be a completely and utter guess. It's not an educated guess whatsoever. But yeah, I'm predicting it's going to be lap 22 when we see the wrecked race come in, the Inters. But you never know, they may be on dry tyres for the whole race. And the strategies might go to pot, but we'll have to wait and see. I wonder what you guys will be thinking in that situation. I was waiting for all the drivers to ready up. And I thought I was going to lose game sound then, but obviously not. So, let's get tyres. There we go. So, apart from Ronline and Obasi, everyone is either on the mediums or the hards. So let me just go through the others. So Humberto, Pete, Colo, Callboy, NWBB, Sample, S-Boy and Swimmy, they qualified on the mediums. So they will have to start on the mediums because they set the fastest lap time on the set of the medium tyres. Now the bottom half of the grid, they get free tyre choice. Some other people that are on the mediums are Quinton, Jay Carty, Jack Hawkeye and Aero Specialist. Now we got people on the hards, which is Casper, Cam K, Pinsky, Dan, Milos and Collins. So quite a mixture actually, apart from people on the softs really. So someone suggested that Ronline has the best strategy if it gets wet in lap 20. Oh, that could be very intriguing. As long as Ronline doesn't bin it into a wall, he should be alright. But hopefully I haven't jinxed it. I probably jinxed it, haven't I? So everyone will have to stop. If it's a wet race entirely, you can afford not to stop. But you just struggle with those inter tyres, especially on this game, that you just can't. So Onyx is thinking that Ronline is going to benefit from being on the soft tyres. Is Abassi going to benefit from this too? This will make the race even more interesting. And I think people will still have, in their setups anyway, most people I think will have a dry setup, but they will probably be running low wing than usual. They'll still be running high, a bit of high wing to negotiate the really long corners, but not as high as a normal dry race would be. So that's my suggestion anyway. I am not the best at setups. I either have to borrow someone else's or get someone to do it for me. Yeah, not the best at setups. I didn't even have a wet setup today, and it was a wet race for ILR8, so I had to run a default setup, which didn't work out. But anyway, let's not talk about my ILR race. We got a race to run for ILR5, as we're waiting for the last few people to get onto their grid slots. Aero Specialist in the Williams is going to be the final person to get into his grid slot. So our online is going to be on your right hand side, Humberto on the left, and oh no, I've got no game sound. What is going on? I've got no game sound whatsoever. Wait a minute. What is going on? I literally got no game sound. Okay, that is interesting. Oh, there we go. We're back to normal as Ronline's got a very good start as Humberto has dropped into position and Pete's already gained into P2. He's flying at the moment and we already seen contact from the Sauber. Humberto's lost it. Don't know quite what's happened there. He might have had a little bit of an incident somewhere, but that's a bit of his front wing gone. So he might have got collected in something when he was struggling, but you never know. So that is Ronline in first, Knighton at second, and we got Callboy. He's getting into P4 as well. He's gonna try and defend off NWBB. NWBB to the inside. It's going to be a tough corner to overtake. But looks like Callboy manages to hold on to what position he's gained at the start. So Callboy, good start as well. And Bassi has had a very good start as well, as he's up into 6th at the moment. And we got a McLaren that's died, and that is Sample in P13, as he's trying to make for lost time. Oh, they touch. Oh my God, what is that going on with the Renault? It was like a desync almost with the Renault, but not quite entirely sure what happened there. But the cars are starting to form in close formation, as we are starting to see a few trading positions as well. NWBB is going to go around the inside, a very tight space there, but he decided to stay put for now. Ronline is starting to pull away from the rest of the pack then, as Bassi is also still on the back of this train, but he's gone wide as well. A lot of people going wide in the final corner, which has probably compromised on their exit a little bit. But there we go, here comes NWBB then on Callboy once again. Callboy still closing up to Pete as well. Polo Man's had a good start as well. He's up into P2. And don't worry, I will have the Supercharge Award once again. So, and Pete did bottle a position, and he was second, and now he's down into 3rd. So bottle Pete, and that's why Colo was up into P2. And I think Uberto's definitely lost it now, as Uberto, I think, is down in 17th at the moment, which is a bit of a shame. But you never know. I've seen loads of people make a comeback from last, and they still go on to be in the top 5. So you never know what Uberto could do. The race is not over yet for him. These guys don't need to give up. He's probably going to hope that the rain's going to come earlier than normal. But NWBB is fighting. His pace is looking great, but the DRS is not enabled yet. So they're going to rely on this slipstream then. MWBB goes to the inside. Callboy trying to give as much room as possible, but covers to the outside, and he still keeps P4. Some good defensive work from him, as we're starting to see Pete and Coleman pull away from this battle. And then WBB then, and the fastest lap already. DRS is enabled. Let's just see what speed he gets through into turn 1. He's not quite enough at the moment, as Uberto, I think, is diving into the pits at the moment. And Milos and Collins are having a little bit of a scrap at the back as well, as Collins almost tried to have a look around the outside of Milos into turn 2, but couldn't quite do it. So Collins is down in P18. So the ones who gained the most positions in lap 1 after the end of lap 2 is quite a lot. But it's Jay Carty that's gained 6 positions. So he's in 9th at the moment, so he is starting to do well. And Ronline is starting to pull up a bit of a gap, actually, to the others. 1.2 seconds. Now the gap's dropped down to 1 second. But obviously, I never know how long these super soft tyres do last on this game. So don't ask me, because I don't have a clue. Because I never did a soft strategy in the race. But there we go. As Jay Carty and... Oh, Casper's lost it. He's binned it. Oh, no. That's sector 3 as well. I do believe he was in the DRS straight. But you can also see Jack Hawkeye is trying to overtake Quinton for the battle for the points then. As Jack Hawkeye... Oh, they touch. Jack Hawkeye goes off. His teammate's going to be fighting as well. Sample says, thank you very much. You made that mistake. I'm taking that P12. And that is what he has done. And he's going to keep to that. And his fight for the points is going to be strong. And Sample then goes to the outside. Oh, there's contact again. This time from, I think it was from Quinton as well, but it was from the other McLaren too. So I was saying Sample had a very good start, but he got caught in an accident. Surely that will possibly be looked in as stewards. Why did I say super softs? Did I say super softs? Oh my god. Ah, I thought I was never going to say that in this game. But I did. Oh my god. I keep thinking it's the supers. Oh my god. But anyway, Collins goes past Sample there, and he's got some making ground to do at this stage. Can't believe I said supers. Oh my god. It's going to take me a while to get used to these softs, I think, as well. Out of all the streams I've commentated, I said softs, but it had to be this one where I said supers by accident. Oops. Maybe due to the fact that the tyres were red or something. But anyway, Callboy is going to try and make a run into turn 1 on Pete, and same as Kylo as well. It looked like it was going to be a double overtake on Pete as well, and it's going to be a 4-5-way train for P2. Kylo stays P2 for now, and also that's going to be a battle for the leaders. Kylo's about DRS range of the lead as well, as Knighton has gained a good speed on the exit to the start of turn 1 and turn 2 then. He's going to try and keep to the racing line at the moment though, which he is trying to do ever so well. Oh no! Callboy has spinned it. Oh no, the Mercedes are having a really bad to worse session, really. And yes, Jack, the lead battle is getting crazy right now, and that's what we like to see in ILR. We like to see people battling for the lead pretty much for most of it, and it is great to see as Ronline is still managing to hold on to these guys, but he is struggling a little bit. Pete's gone wide again, but Kylo is going to try and gain some tight position as J Cartier goes past Callboy. Yeah, Callboy's lost his front wing. You can see the train at the back as well. Boy, this is going to be one of those other races where this is going to get absolutely intense. I think it's due to the amount of tyres that they're on, and due to the fact that it's going to be a wrecked end as well. As Callboy, oh, he struggled. As we got a battle for the lead that I'm missing. As Colo, oh, I thought one line has just ghosted there. Oh my god, as Pete and NWBB joining in the party as well. One line's really got to make a move as soon as possible. Pete's almost on. No, Pete's bottled it. He's been pushed off and he's out of the session. Oh no, what could it be for him? That could have been a very good result, but it's still going to be a three-way tasty fight for the lead. And there's no safety car as obviously it's off the circuit anyway, but I don't think Pete's going to be too happy with that. I wouldn't be too happy either. So, but anyway, here comes NWBB around the outside of online then. This is the window where the softs do start to die. And there we go, NWBB into second place. But Quintin right at the back is catching up as well. We've got Dan, we've got Quintin, and we've got Jack as well. So a battle, I think, for 6th as well. And Cam K heading the train there. I think everyone is not too pleased about the bottle. They were like, no! But anyway, we're down to 1 driver, so they'll have to wait a few more races before we get a 20 driver finish. I wonder when that will happen really in the tier. We'll have to wait and see anyway. Now, Coleman is in the lead. The gap is about 1 second between Colo and NWBB now, as Cam K and Dan trying to get position now as Dan gets into P6. Can Cam K challenge around the outside? No, he can't. This is getting very tasty. I love this. As Pinsky's in 5th as well. Ronline goes into the pits as everyone is kissing the curb like their favourite granny to get the tyres in. Ronline is in the pits then. And Cam K still on Dan's trail at the moment. Into turn 1. 2 McLarens and the Renault fighting close behind as well. But the closest is between Cam K and Dan. As, oh no, Cam K has got a rev glitch. Cam K has got a rev glitch, so I won't be following him. So we have to follow the outboard, which is very annoying, unless he goes to the pits or something like that. As Sample is back to Well, he's up into 11th, but it's still saying he's gaining position there, so interesting there. Casper setting the fastest lap of the race so far, so he has a bit of clear air in front of him. And he is gonna make up for lost time, which is what he was trying to do anyway. And he wants fastest lap glory, and that is what he is gonna try to do. So Jack is still gonna do all he can, try and get past Cam K. But meanwhile, Cam K is still charging Dan. I wonder if the teammate rivalry will come into play as well. As Jack is still well on the back, as he's running low on the ERS as well, so that's why he's been forced to one. But luckily Cam K is in the pits then. No, not Cam. Yeah, Cam K is in the pits. It's quite early, but I think he might go on either onto a set of mediums or to another set of hards, so then he can get ready to go on the inters later. And he goes on to a set of mediums then. So he thinks it's going to last until about lap 20, and then he'll go to the pits, and that'll be a perfect timing if that happens. Well, is Cam's strategy working? We'll find out when it gets to the wet. And as you can see, the track is starting to cloud over just a little bit. It is not as sunny as it was at the start of the race. So keep an eye on the clouds coming over, because that will give us a very huge clue as to when the guys will be pitting onto the wet tyres, onto the inters most likely. And to be honest, I don't think we're going to get full wets. There's no way. But unless the weather does make it turn a bit worse, but we'll have to wait and see. As we've got Milos trying to make a move around the outside of Sample. He's going to have another look now. He almost had another look earlier too. As Dan and Pinsky are also having another charge as well. But Milos is going to drive around the inside, and he does it. He's up into P9. But can the McLaren make a comeback? He's going to go around the outside now. On with the McLaren of Sample. He stays where he is for the moment. Quentin's in the pits, but we don't care about that right now. We've got a team battle between Dan and Pinsky. So I wonder what Marco and Christian Horner will be thinking in their heads at the moment, because this is going to get spicy. But I think if I was in Christian Horner's head, because these drivers are probably equal in pace, I would let them race. And that is I think, the best situation to be in, to be honest. So, and also Jack Hawkeye's found some time, because due to the battling, you've got to be careful, really, because the guys behind as well, if they see you battling, they can gain more time, as Jack Hawkeye is trying to gain some more time now. As I think, let's see how much ERS Jack is running. It's about 1%. He's running out. Pinsky's on 47 and Dan's on 15. So Pinsky is going to have the upper hand. He's just got so much corner speed there. That works out very well. That worked out brilliantly for Pinsky. So he did brilliantly to negotiate that corner. So good job for Pinsky there. As I think he's going to find some more time on Dan coming up soon as well. He's got to make the move now, to be honest. But then we've also got NWBB slowly starting to close up onto Colo Man as well. So it will get spicy between those guys as well. So make sure you do watch out until the end of the race and see what happens. Because we'll have to wait and see who will come in for the wets first, who will jump the gun. Huberto pits again. As Berto's got a 5-second stop go. Speeding in the pit lane, so I think to be honest, he's lost a bit of time already, not gonna lie. So here he goes. Oh, he's out of the race. He's out of the race, which is very sad. So we're down to 2 drivers. But here we go. Battle the lead is intensing. NWB goes to the inside. It's turn 15. Can Colo get the line into turn 16? He holds on just. NWBB tries to get on the right-hand side, but it doesn't work. As NWBB then still going head to toe to nail at the moment. NWBB gets to the lead. Nicely done from NWBB. Let's see, Colo Man. Colo Man is still on the gearbox of NWBB at the moment, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens until we get to the end of this pretty much intense Grand Prix already. I just can't believe how intense it's gone already, and we're not even halfway yet. Well, to be honest, we'll be halfway soon, but just not yet. So I will keep an eye on these drivers, see how well they do. As I think Kylo Man has got a better run on NWBB. Yes, he did. He's gained a bit more time that lap. And he's got more ERS to play with as well, as Collins, the other Force India, has retired. Not sure what happened to him there, but hopefully we'll have a little bit of an idea soon. And NWBB is trying to find a line to cover off Colo Man, but I think Colo Man is going where NWBB is going. Colo Man is on the attack. So he wants to do what's best for him. And Colo Man is going into the pits. NWBB stays out. We'll just see, is anyone else going to go into the pits? No. Jay Carty's staying out, so is Dan, and so is Pinsky. So that is the order so far in this race so far. What has happened to the stream? Is the stream working for you guys? Because it's buffering for me. Or it might be just me. We'll see anyway. I think we're okay. If not, I will have to change things up slightly. But we shall see anyway. If the stream's offline, then I'm going to be very annoyed, but it shouldn't be. I think it should be fine. So, yeah, stream's okay. That's all good. What a relief. I was just double checking, but looks like it is back to normal again. I was just a bit worried because it was starting to lag for a little bit me there as well. So jobs are good. And so, just a quick rundown of who is what then. NWBB is leading. Then we got Jay Carty in second. Dan in third. Pinsky fourth. Jack Hawkeye in fifth place. Milos sixth. S-Boy in seventh. Who's got Colo Man right behind as well. Who's going to be on fresher tyres too. And have the Red Bulls time their strategy to perfection? I think it's going to be a close one, but Ron Linus has made its way past Sample, as you were saying that. But if Dan and Pinsky can push those tyres, hard tyres, for quite a bit, they can wait until the rain comes. They can go on a set of inters, which can work out for them. And they can only wait one stop, but it does depend on how far they can push these tyres. But Ron Line is still on a good strategy as well, as he can push his tyres to the limit and start pushing and get involved in battles, and then he could decide when it's the best. I don't know, can Ron Line be the first person to jump the gun? We shall see. We shall see. He could be the first person to jump the gun. So, are we seeing any more battles emerge? We've got Aero Specialist on Core Boy. And we see rain! we see rain. So the top, well, especially the ones on the hard tyres, Dan, Pinsky and Milos, and possibly one line as well, they timed this very well. The rain is coming a lot earlier than I thought. I thought it was going to come lap 20. So we'll just have to wait then to see when it is going to be enough time for the intermediate tyres. Oh my god, it's going to get absolutely spicy. I hate dry to wet races because those are the ones that causes the most chaos for me when I race. But I love it as a commentator. The question is it going to get to Inter's territory quite soon? I think we will know once we see DRS disabled, but will people jump the gun quickly enough? We'll have to find out. So I think the people on the hard tyres will have to probably keep it in for a little while longer, I think. I think that's what they'll be trying to do anyway. So, and S-Boy I think's timed it well as well. The ones that are able to push the mediums to a quite a decent amount, they can go on the inters as well. They just got to make sure they manage their tyres well. Because I think the mediums last, I think, till lap 16? I don't know, because I had a full wet race. So I don't know at all what the strategy is for a full dry race, because I never experienced it in this game. Actually, I might have been in career mode, but I've done career mode like ages ago, so... and I did career mode on PC, not PS4. So, but anyway, Dan is really catching up on Jay Carty. Jay Carty is struggling on those mediums, so... I called it. I absolutely called it. I absolutely called it, saying the hard would be the best to go. And I was right. As Boy has bottled it again. He was on a set of the hards as well. So it is turning into a Mercedes bottle class at the moment. Just saying. And yes, it will be a few laps before the Inter starts to take into effect, speaking from experience. But is Dan coming in too early? Let's see. I think they're both coming in too early. It is too... Oh, DRS disabled. Oh, it could be right then. As NWBB go on to Inters, Pinsky, I think, timed it wrong. But I think probably because Dan is out as well. So I think he had to fight the bullet, really. But NWBB is going to end up in the lead. Jay Carty second, Dan third. So, I'm just looking at the stops here. NWBB has only made one stop. Only is Jay Carty and so is Dan. The ones who only did 2 stops and did soft to mediums, or did mediums to hards, or hards to mediums, have really disadvantaged in this. So, if they haven't come in for 4 Inters now, surely they'll come to it. And you can see it's getting very cloudy ever so quickly on this game. I think it's going to stay in, I think, to the end. I don't think it's going to get full wet. Yeah, everyone has pretty much stopped now. You can see with the tyres. Everyone is going on to a set of Inters. Apart from, obviously, Quintin, who's obviously had their teammates still out. Still in the pit, so he has to... And yeah, you can see it is definitely not the right conditions for mediums. You can see the standing... You can see the standing water in there as well. As we've already got the Ferrari going past the Bassi, so you can see how fast the intermediate tyres are actually compared to the mediums right now. I think Pinsky will be struggling a little bit, but not as much as NWBB. Because Pinsky's on the hard tyres. Oh, he's gone wide again. I think he did have to dodge the bullet a little bit there because obviously his teammate went in. But because of double stacking stops don't work on this game, unfortunately, which I feel gutted about, really. It's not the best of situations. But anyway, as Pinsky goes into the pits, he goes onto the Inters now. Is Quinty going to come in? He has to now, really. As Cam K and Milos hang a little bit of a scrap for turn 15. As Milos holds on to his line. I think Kamke's going to get the line. Kamke's going to get the inside. But Milos manages to defend. Milos kisses the right-hand curb. He's gone wide a little bit there. He's pushed to the left. Kamke for the battle for the points then is going to be 10th. But for how long? Milos is going to challenge for the position this time. We'll just have to wait and see how they negotiate around here. As Kamke still in 10th, and he's about 3.2 seconds behind Abassi. Quintin is the last of the guys going to the pits now. So every single one of the guys are on intermediate conditions, which is what the conditions I had to face with in ILR8 pretty much the whole race. So the drivers can think themselves lucky because they only have to do it for like half the race. I had to do it for the full 28 laps, and it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. But anyway, Dan is on fire. He isn't the ILR6 champion for nothing. He is wanting to score some decent points today, and looks like he's going to get a decent podium out of all of this as well, which will be very good for him. So we'll just have to wait and see how Dan negotiates these last couple of corners. And Samples bottled it, I think. It was the yellow flag in sector 3. And I think that was Dan. No, that was Sample that had the yellow flag issue. But not a lot of people, to be honest, to be fair, are used to these wet conditions. It is quite difficult. And I wonder what the conditions in an ILR4. I bet you it's dry. I bet you it's dry in ILR4. Yeah, it is dry. So, it's getting spicy. If you just joined us, it's going to be an intense end to the race. So we're on lap 17 at the moment, as Dan is got more ERS to use compared to Jay Carty. Actually, no, Jay Carty's got more ERS. He's been saving quite a lot here. He's defending from the outside line then. Dan wants to attack from the outside. Who is going to get the better jump first? Only time will tell here as it comes up to the last 10 or so laps to go of this Grand Prix. As it is raining really hard now. Can it be full wet soon? I don't know. Imagine if it is full wet. Well, I would like your opinions in chat, actually. Do you think it's going to get full wet? Maybe not. It might. I think it might stay like this, I think. But you never know. The rain has been unpredictable. We've seen rain. You can see the raindrops. It could get worse, actually. But let's just hope for these drivers' sake that they don't go onto the wet tyres. Because otherwise it could cost them dear. There's quite a few people struggling on those inters. I think because Quintin pushed it, I think, a lap later than he thought. Then that's compromised him quite a bit, and he's last of the runners at the moment, which is a shame, really. But I don't think he's going to give up, which is good. But you can see that it's absolutely horrible around here. It's getting almost undrivable for me anyway, as people puddles are starting to form, actually, coming up as well. Is this definitely intermediate conditions? This is definitely not. This is full wet. I'm sure this is going to be full wet soon. but I might be wrong. I am starting to hope so many different things here, but it's probably not going to come true. I'm not going to predict anymore because I'll probably jinx people knowing me. And, well, ooh, that is interesting. So it could turn... I thought so. So someone has told us that it could be heavy rain in 2 minutes. So could we be... Well, yeah, we could be on full wet. This is going to be exciting because, yeah, this is definitely not Inters by the sound of it. How are they still driving in this dampness? And Dan is still managing to hold off to Jay Carty as well. But let's go back with Callboy, as Callboy's still on the back of Aero Specialist. I don't know how these guys are I can barely see at the moment, as I think a few more people are starting to make mistakes as the conditions are starting to get worse. So I think most of these guys will have to make another pit stop, and you can see how Callboy is struggling due to the fact that the tyres are starting to die a little bit, but we shall see. I've never seen a full wet race in ILR5 before, so this is probably the first in a while. So, and I think Jan's dropped it off into 1 second. We got a yellow flag in sector 3. That is S-Boy. S-Boy has spun into, I think it's turn 14. Which is costing him quite a lot of time there. But let's jump back on board with Callboy, as he is still around the back of Specialist. We've got 8 laps to go. Potentially we could be on for one more final pit stop. Pretty much all tyres for the first time will be used this race. It's going to get to a point where I can barely see the drivers. This reminds me of ILR1 last season on PS4, where it was absolutely chucking it down. This is kind of like that, to be honest. As Callboy has got his centre helmet, as Abassi has binned it, and Cam K has going to make the gamble. Is it going to be full wet? Cam, please tell me. Is he going to change to full wet? We'll have to wait and see. Or is he going to stick to Inters? Full wets. Yes, it's full wets. Oh my god. This is going to be a very tasty end of this Grand Prix. But he's changed his front wing as well. If he hadn't changed his front wing, that would have been a good pit stop for him. Callboy is staying out. Casper's staying, well, going in. He's putting the full wets as well. He thinks that full wets is the way to go, which I think it is, but let's go on board with Cam K to see if he can manage these full wet. I think it's not too bad. I don't know. It depends how many to go, but to be honest, China around here is hard in the wet anyway. So, you never know. So, we did see someone bottle it. I didn't see who that was, but hopefully there wasn't any of the wrecked runners anyway. So, will this wet strategy work well for the guys to get into the top 10? We'll have to wait and see. But NWDBB thinks it's still good for Inters, and he's gone out for another lap. He's not struggling at all. He's starting to pull a massive gap between himself and Jay Carty. So, if you're liking what you're seeing on the stream, don't forget to click subscribe. We just recently hit 1,300 subscribers on the ILR channel, which, to be honest, I'm mega proud. So, good on you guys. As Pinsky's in the pits, he's probably going to full wet. So is S-Boy. One of the first leading bunch to pit, but it's probably not going to make any difference. Milos is going into the pits as well, who is going to chuck on a set of shinters. So here we go. Milos puts on a set of his tyres and goes into the full wet. And you can see, based on the front people not pitting yet, you can see how well they're managing those inters to make sure that they can get it to a beatable level before they go on to the full wets. As I'm just seeing Cowboy is around about 3 seconds behind S-Boy, who is on the full wet. So this could be a huge situation here. This can help us decide, help us think in a way as to which will be the best tyre to go on, which will probably be full wet, as even though, yeah, it's got to be full wet because this boy's starting to pull away. As Dan is in the pits, out the first of the leading runners then. He's hoping to make the undercut and make it work. I don't think Jack or J Carty or NWBB's pitted either. No, they haven't. So, as I do hear a lot of claps in the grandstand. That's probably because Dan might have made the right decision. I think, let me just do gap to leader. I don't know how fast the pit stop is in the wet, to be fair. So it is too hard to tell. I swear I heard it's too hard to tell from a lyric somewhere, but I am not quite sure where I've heard it from. It's pretty much on the tip of my tongue. So, mixture of inters and wets being used then towards the end. And we could see a few people making a few more mistakes again, as Pinsky has dropped it just a little bit. I think he's starting to struggle. He's going to have Espoyo over him as well if he's not careful. As he just goes past the end of sector 1, going into the start of sector 2. I think you can see from S-Boy starting to get a bit more heat in his tyres, and yeah, you can see the visibility. I'm liking the wet visuals on this game. It's more realistic, but the problem is you can barely see a thing. And I don't know how S-Boy's going to overtake Pinsky, but he is going to anyway. And he does really well. To be honest, if I was on T-Cam in this race, I don't know how I'll be able to see. I don't know why the top guys are not going on to full wets yet. I think they seem to be alright without it, but you never know. I think they're just waiting for the right moment. I think I remember it was full wet in Silverstone when I was doing it in ILR5 last year. And yes, the gaps are closing actually with the full wet runners. So Milos, let's see Milos, as he's right behind, as Milos going to go around the outside of Sample. Is he going to have the better grip and exit going into turn 16? Yes, he does. He's going to take the right-hand side now and cover off Sample. Milos up into P11. Sample. I'm sure that must be a giveaway for Sample to dive it into the pits now, surely. As Cam K tries to get his way past Sample as well, or Sample. As, there we go, Cam K is up into 12th, so will we see the medium runners? And I think Dan's gaining more time on Cola Man, who is also on the set of inters as well. And yeah, I think the inters are starting to struggle, I think, a little more than we thought. So make sure you do watch to the end, because it's going to get feisty, to tell you the truth. As Dan's about 4 tenths behind Kolo now. Surely, Dan has definitely timed this right. Dan at this rate can get the win of this race. We'll see, it just is worse to be on inters right now. As we'll have to wait and see as Kolo stays out. He's gone wide. And Dan is up into 4th place now. He could be on a podium. S-Boy's up into 7th. He catches the other intermediate runner of Abassi as well. So Abassi now up into P8 of this Grand Prix. Pinsky down into 9th. He's starting to struggle on those wets a little bit. but he can possibly get past with Batty soon. We shall see. Oh, Pinsky! Pinsky almost made a bit of a mistake there, but that was a save and a half, I must say. Oh my word, that almost made me jump, Pinsky. Just saying. Just saying. As he tries to, I think he's going to probably try and pressure Bassi into a little bit of a mistake here as he goes round the inside, but I don't think it's working. But you can see the lack of grip on these inters, and my phone's just gone on the floor. I'm just going to leave it on the floor for now, because otherwise that's probably going to cost. So, but anyway, let us know who you think your driver of the day is so far. To be honest, we do have a few contenders. As Pinsky finding more grip on Ubasi then. As does he get past Ubasi? Ubasi's not going to give up though. There we go. Pinsky goes ahead of Ubasi then. No sign of the... Wait. Is the condition starting to get better? It's just changing from our very eyes. It could be back to inters again. I think it is back to inters because I think you can see more now. Yeah, you can see more. So maybe that's why the top two have decided to stay on the intermediate tyres, because they know it was going to get better. Oh, how much has changed in this Grand Prix so far. You just never know what's going to happen. It's just very, very unpredictable these days. Now, S-Boy Onyx wants S-Boy to be driver for the day. Let's just see how many positions he has gained. He's gained 6, yeah. But there's quite a few people that's gained a lot as well. Jay Carsey's gained 13. Jack Hawkeye's gained 15 as well. And Dan has gained 12. But is it too little, too late for Dan? Will he have to go for a fresh set of inters, or will he choose to stay out for? Because it is cleared up just a little bit. I wish I could have someone's Jeff so I can find out what the full weather report is, please. That's probably why a lot of people did stay on the inters to try and basically to try and minimise the stops that they were making. So that means he will need to try and save, but he can't afford to lose enough time anyway. Because if he loses enough time, that could possibly cost him a podium. So there's no way the top 3 are gonna pit. No way, without a shadow of a doubt. So it looks like the top 3 is pretty much gonna stay as it is. So if it does, those 3, if they choose to do it, they will be doing a podium interview with moi. So, as you can see, because if the race went on for very long, it would have been dry to wet to dry, knowing the game. This kind of reminds me of Germany when it was kind of like that. To be honest, Germany in real life was absolutely crazy. But anyway, Swimmy has dropped. Oh no, Swimmy's dived into the pits, I think. He's lost his front wing. I think you will have to. You'll have to go on to inters now. And pretty much the fastest lap is pretty much decided, because I think it was on the mediums where it was decided. And oh, it's still full wet. Okay, that is interesting. And I think Swimmy DNF'd because of that. But we shall see. But I wonder if the top 2 are gonna try and save a bit more on those inters, because they've been out on those inters for so long. I think they've been on for 12 laps. I was able to push the inters for about 15, 16 laps in ILR5 for one stint anyway. So imagine what these guys can do. As Dan, on those 4 wet, is still catching to P3. So he could get it to the end, you never know. So he's not losing enough time. So maybe the Inters are struggling because they've been out so long. You never know. This has gone very twisty. One point I think, oh yeah, I know who's going to get podium. But there could still be a chance that Dan can still get this podium. We shall see anyway. Let us know in the chat what you think anyway. Who you think is going to get the podiums. We're almost certain it's going to be NWBB and J Carty that's going to get the podium. Almost certain. But it will be up to Dan to see if he can find the time needed as Sample and Specialist having a run into turn 1 then. As Sample gets a better run of Specialist there and he's up into P13. I know it's only P13, but he just wants glory points. And I do believe Quintin disconnected earlier. Yes, I think he did. And Sample's got past the Renault as well. So on the final lap then. So it started, so if you missed it, I'll sum up this race in a nutshell. Started dry, went to Inters, then to full wet, then back to Inters again. And the ones who kept it under control, it was NWBB. And we are going to see a third different winner. Is this going to be like ILR5 Season 5, where the first 4 or 5 races we have different winners and different pole sitters? And could we get different podium sitters as well? We could be. We could be in that situation, ladies and gentlemen. Which I really hope happens. But you never know here. He's got a few more corners to negotiate. And I think Dan, has lost a bit more time on Jack Hawkeye. But meanwhile, Abassi and Milos hanging around into turn 1 this time. Milos getting involved in a lot more battles. I think Milos' P10 is secure, but for how long? Because he's got Callboy behind. There's not many. I haven't seen much penalties. I think the only penalties I've seen is speeding in the pit lane, I think. I think that's the main penalties I've seen anyway. But anyway, NWBB had a control-free race. He has timed his strategy to perfection. He knew the strategy more than I did. I thought he was on the gamble, but he wasn't. NWBB comes across the line. He wins the 3rd race in ILR5 Season 6. And a good result for Jay Cartier. He comes across the line in P2. And Jack Hawkeye is going to get his first podium in ILR, I think. We might have got one last week, but I'm not sure. But anyway, here comes Jack Hawkeye in 3rd. Oh, 4 attempts, because I know Jack got a penalty, I believe. 4 attempts separated. If he gained a bit more time, he would have got that podium. Colo Costa comes on the line in 5th. Ron Line started pole, wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. Ron Line in 6th. His teammate, S-Boy505, is negotiating the last few corners. Now he's going to come across the line in 7th. And then we've got Pinsky in 8th place. But we got a final battle to the line then, as Ubasi's going to try and take Pinsky into turn 1. Is it going to be a photo finish? I can't tell. What is the gap? I don't know. But anyway, Callboy takes P10, the final point. Milos P11. Cam K P12. Sample P13. Specialist 14th. And then Casper's going to be your last finisher. Now, I'm going to get my headphones in a minute. Oh, Casper. Casper. Oh, man. What has Casper done? He has binned it on the line, but he was still able to finish. So, at least he finished, at least. So, well done to your winner, then. We will be getting... Hopefully, we can get all the top 3 for podium interviews. We are going to try it anyway. It is not compulsory, of course. If they don't want to join, they don't have to. But we will try and get them in anyway. So we're about to get your results then of this pretty much very intense race. So here we go then, your final results as NWBB wins. Jay Carty 2nd, Jack 3rd, Dan 4th, Coloman 5th, Ronline 6th, S-Boy 7th, Abassi 8th, Pinsky 9th, Cowboy 10th, and your other finishers are Milos, Cam K, Sample, Specialist, and your retirements. All Casper DNF'd on the line. That probably might have counted, you know, but I don't know. But anyway, Casper, Quinton, I think, was a 1 lap down, be disconnected, but your definite non-finishers are Swimmy, Collins, and Gilberto. So, alright then, time for interviews. Now, if you just give me a second, I will need to do a few things, but I'm more prepared this time because I've plugged the right things in the right places. So, I will need to do this so these guys can still hear me. If it stays like this, there we go. Right then, so I will also need to change audio settings, but drive for the day is going to be, I think, Dan did quite well to try and catch up. Jay Carty did well too. You know, I don't really know. I think it's a little bit of a toss-up between who's going to get driver of the day, but I think it's a little bit too close to call. Right, I think it works. Okay, so we're going to get people in at the interview room. So, do I have him? I just need to check if I have people added. I think I've added everyone, so we should be okay. I think I'll need to check if I have Jack and MWBB because I know. So I need to send friend requests. If it'll let me. It didn't, which is annoying. But hey ho. It's not. Oh, there we go. That's sorted. So we are going to get them all, or at least all of the interested people, ready for interviews. And if they're watching, make sure, hopefully they have me added if they want to join. So it does take a while to get people added in, of course. I don't have NWBB either. Hopefully they're still in the lobby. Yes, they are. So view profile. If we can't get them all in, I just won't do it tonight. At least I'll see anyway. As friend request has been sent. So hopefully we've got NWBB. And where's Jay Carty? I thought I had him. Where is he? He's probably appearing offline, cheeky bugger. And where is Jack Corpite? There we go. So we'll invite the top 3 at the moment into the interview room, and as soon as we get them all in, then I'll switch so you can hear them. So you won't be able to hear people yet because I've muted them all. So just hopefully. So we'll just give everyone a few minutes well, not actually, probably about a minute or so before I can unmute them again. So we've got NWBB that's joined, Jack Hawkeye's joined, I think we're just waiting on our second place man, Jay Carty, I think. And I think he's not online, so we'll just go, let me just switch back, there we go. So let me just do this. And Jay Carty's joined as well. What good timing. So we'll go straight to the interviews then. Starting off with our race winner NWBB. I think that's how you. Is that how you say your name, or do you want me to say it a different way?
Yeah, no, just say NWB.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I said it right. I was a bit worried then. But anyway,
yeah.
Well done on that win. The conditions got very tricky towards the end. And you saw that the conditions were getting a bit better. What made you stay on the inters and not go on the full wets to ultimately get you this win?
Well, I made the mediums last until lap 14, and obviously went on to the inters, and then saw Dan and Jay Carty was like a second like between each other, and then saw Dan went onto the wets, and I think it was like lap 20. That he went onto them, and it was either you go on the wets and you just try and gain like 5 seconds a lap, or you stay out and just kind of risk it. It was just, well, I didn't the team radio was helping quite a bit, but yeah, it was quite tough. It was.
Yeah, because you pretty much, you didn't start on pole. Where did you start again? You started quite low.
P6.
P6, and were you hoping that the wet weather was going to come sooner or later? And were you relieved when it came?
Well, I was happy that it came when it did, because I know Dan started on the hards, so he was always going to be a threat. But yeah, I think if the rain had come even 1 or 2 laps later, I think I would have maybe pit by that time, and then obviously everything would have been a lot different than how it went. But yeah, it kind of came at like the perfect time.
Yes, and I forgot to ask you that, probably a more obvious question as well. How did it feel to win in ILR? It must be good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it feels really good. Obviously everyone is really quick in this tier, and it's hopefully there'll be more wins in the future. But there's a lot of competition in this league, and yeah, it's just going from one race to the next.
And who do you say is your biggest rival after tonight? Out of all the 3 races done, who's your biggest rival?
I'd probably say, I think if there was like no contact and no incidents, I'd probably say Dan and maybe Hugh. Me and on lap 1 coming through turn 2. Me, because I had Hugh just in front of me, someone just behind me, and someone like on the left, and it's so tight on lap 1. There really wasn't like any room at all. So it was kind of just like you're just trying to keep at everyone's pace, and then obviously I don't know if I got a small touch or if I think I nudged the back of Hugh, and then obviously he span, and then yeah, it's just very tight on like any track that you go to on lap 1. In the first couple of corners, it's so tight that anything can happen.
China.
yeah.
And going into next week, another difficult track for most people, Baku. What is your aims for that race? Is it to try and avoid carnage, or is it a bit better?
Well, just kind of get through I think if you get through the first lap through the first few corners, I think you kind of set for the race. It'll be quite tight again because the whole track is pretty tight, to be fair. But yeah, no, hopefully it'll be another good race.
Yes, and well done on your race victory, and another good result for J Carty in P2. You must be pretty happy with that result. How was the race for you with those changing conditions?
Yeah, it was a surprise to us to be up at the top after qualifying in about 15th. But yeah, I was hoping that the weather would change in between the mediums and the hards, or mediums, for the next bit, and it did it just in time. If the rain came about 2 or 3 laps later, I wouldn't have been able to stretch it and would have had to pit for something else. And then as the rain came, I was like, there's an equal gap between the cars in front and the car behind. I was just not really anywhere. Then Jeff was saying about lap 20 when the heavy rain came to go into the wets, but I didn't think it was, like, wet enough to change, so I was just copying whatever Nathan or whatever in front.
And that sort of paid off as the conditions got a bit better towards the end there. So was that your gut feeling, or it must have been your gut feeling all along? Were you going to end up pitting on the full wets anyway, or when you saw the conditions getting better? When did you decide, right, Inters is where I'm going to stay?
Well, I was going lap by lap, and Hugh was telling me the people that did pit for the wets what their time was, and he was saying that it wasn't really worth it to go swap onto the wets. You wouldn't make the time back, so I just decided that we'd stay on the inters, and then the weather started to change back to inter, so it paid off in the end.
What was your hardest bit of the training conditions anyway? Was it from inters to full wets or towards the end?
It was just between the inters to full wets when Dan was getting quite close, as the car was sliding a bit under the pressure.
And you're going to get some decent points as well. And going into Baku, how are you feeling about that?
A bit more confident than I was this race. Just have to try and avoid the carnage that will inevitably happen since it's Baku.
To be honest, we all have to when we all race there. So best of luck for next week. And finally, P3, it is Jack. Well done on your result today. You kept out of most of the trouble, and your strategy's paid off for you. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, starting in P17 and ended up with a podium. So yeah, really happy with the result, to be honest.
And what made you go onto the top? When to go onto the tyres that you wanted towards the end? Because you were the only ones to stay on the inters towards the end. Was it that gut feeling like everyone else was, or was it because you were still faster on the inters even in the tricky, heavy rain?
Basically, obviously started heavy raining a lot, but then Jeff kept telling me it's going to be light rain again within like 5 minutes, so I just risked it. I was pretty much guaranteed P4, but then obviously Dan pitted for wets, and I was like, I'll just risk it, I'll stay out either way. I didn't think I'd spin off or anything like that. And he was catching me then about 3 seconds a lap, and I had a 3-second time penalty, so I was like proper crapping it for the last few laps. Then as soon as it stopped raining towards the end, he obviously just couldn't go around the corners quick enough, and it was just the intermediates just started working again, so I pulled out 3-second gap, so I just stayed good.
And what was the hardest bit of the race? Because you were involved in some battles as well, I believe. How was it managing your tyres at that point towards the dry stint?
On the dry stint at the start, I got up to like P11 after lap 1, I think, and I was stuck behind Quinton, and he was just teleporting all over my screen, so I couldn't even try and overtake him because I didn't want to risk my front wing getting punted off. So I was just, that was probably the hardest part, staying behind Quinton because of his lag.
And when you cross the line, and how is it going to feel going into the how's your momentum going to go into the next race then, after you getting some good points eventually?
Yeah, I'm dreading Baku, to be honest. I hate it. I hate it so much.
I think whoever doesn't hate Baku is a robot. Jokes.
Yeah, is that castle section? It's just I just lose it there all the time.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been a lot of there as well. So, yeah, well done to you on the podium as well, and also to JCarty for P2, and obviously NWBB for the win. So, thank you for watching, guys. ILR5 as usual, the first podium interviews of forever. I think the last time I did it was in season 4, so it was great to bring it back. I think I'll probably bring it back next week as well for ILR5. Next week we are on the dreaded Baku. Expect a lot of action, and I don't know who's gonna finish, but we'll have to wait and see. So join us same time at 8 PM for some more action. Good night, everybody.